Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto YAHAWAH, Bahashem, YAHAWAH, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all your Wakim out there pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and to all you believers out there who believe on the gospel. And it's the brother YAHAWAH from the GMS Houston camp. I just want to go into a lesson, doing a little research earlier, checking the news, and it was a couple articles that I came across, going into how it's about to be a famine, not just in America, but across the four corners, man. It's going to be a time, like YAHAWAH said, like never before, and I want to title this lesson somewhere around the lines of, during a famine, don't worry how you going to eat or drink. YAHAWAH, Bahashem YAHAWAH going to provide. Of course, it ain't going to be that long, but, whatever, the Spirit want me to title it. But that's what I want to go into, man. You see, because this is where faith kicking at. The times we about to come into, you're going to need faith to get through that, man. Right? But I want to touch on this famine. If, you don't know what a famine means, is a lack of food and a lack of drink. Right? And people in this world, they going to be focused on their next meal, their next drink. Right? But that's the beauty of serving the Lord, because when them times come, we know that the Lord, YAHAWAH, Bahashem YAHAWAH, go provide for us, man. So I want to go ahead and read this article, and I got a couple of accounts going into the Lord feeding some of his men, right? Men, women, whatever it is. But the Lord feeding his believers, his servants, man. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick, because if we doing the same thing, serving the Lord, just how the believers of old served the Lord, then we should have faith that the Lord going to feed us just like he fed them. I'm going to get this real quick, and Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. It's Romans 15:4. It says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, right? Like these accounts we're going to go into. It's just two of them. But even the scriptures itself, the Lord said he's going to deliver us from famine, so on and so forth, right? He put men in certain situations in the ancient world, whether it's the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, or the New Testament, right? And deliver them out of those situations so we can read now that we in the end, so we can read those things to give us faith now, right? It says, for whatsoever the things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. Patience and comfort that, damn, the Lord delivered them out of that. Well, I believe the Lord could deliver me out of that too, because I'm serving the Lord like they did, man. That's what we all should believe, That's what we all should believe. But I'm going to go ahead and get into this article, and Lord willing, this lesson be edifying, man. And it's from CNN.com. And the title is, the hunger crisis linked to the coronavirus could kill more people than a disease itself. You see, and Lord willing, I remember to put this article in the description box, but I'm going to read it again. It says the coronavirus, it says the hunger crisis linked to the coronavirus could kill more people than a disease itself. And this was written on Sunday, July 12th, 2020. So about what, 2 weeks ago? And it says the hunger crisis linked to the coronavirus. Why? Because what have been happening because of this coronavirus? And whether you say, people say, well, the coronavirus is a hoax, it's fake, it ain't real. Whether it's fake or real, the effects of it is real. People really losing jobs. You see? People really getting evicted, right? People really loan money. So all these things leading to what? Famine. Because you have restaurants who going out of business. Right? And because they went out of business, you have what? Schools, they went open, restaurants, right? Now, where they get their food from? They get their food from these farmers. Now, touching on the farmers, because these businesses was closed, the farmers, I had did a lesson a while back, going into how farmers been having to euthanize, which means kill, put to death, euthanize a lot of their livestock, chickens, right? They poultry. Produce, get rid of their produce, onions, fruit, vegetables. You see why? Because since these businesses was closed, they haven't been able to sell nothing to these restaurants, and they haven't been able to sell anything, man. You got to think, vegetables and fruit, it have an expiration date on it, so they just can't keep it until everything get better. You see, the same with the animals. So since they put to death a lot of their produce and animals, things that they sell, the economy do open back up. then they're already going to be short on food because they didn't kill millions of animals, right? Put away millions of food. So they're already going to be behind. And another thing, not just that, across the world, the Lord got in Africa right now sending locusts, man, to tear up their crops. He's sending hurricanes and bad weather to flood crops, flood cattle. So all these things that's because of the coronavirus, again, it could be fake, it could be real, but the effects of it is real. And because of that, people going homeless, people losing jobs, so they don't have the money. And on top of that, the dollar collapsing, the dollar crashing. So you about to have inflation and hyperinflation. So as people, money get lower, the price is going to rise. So it's less things you're going to be able to buy, man. All these things linked to the coronavirus. And right now, we just touching on the famine that's going to come because all these things is happening in the world. Let's get into this article. I'm going to read just a little bit of it, and we can hop into the scriptures, you know, because these things should build our faith. You know, we should get excited when we see a famine coming. Why? Because we was warned aforetime, and the Lord told us, well, look, when these things come, I got you. YAHAWAH said, I got you. The world don't know that. The world, when the famine hit, they ain't go look at the generations of old. When the famine hit, they ain't go remember the things that was written aforetime. You see? Because they weren't focused on the scripture. Why the going is getting good right now, like they say, right? But I'm going to read this article. I don't want to ramble too much. But it says, the coronavirus pandemic has already claimed over 500,000 lives across the world, with case numbers continuing to rise. A new report by Oxfam now warns that the hunger crisis, right? Let's listen to this. Now warns that the hunger crisis worsened by the pandemic could potentially kill more people each day than the infection itself, man. Come on. Let's read that again. It says the hunger crisis worsened by the pandemic, telling you it was a hunger crisis before the pandemic. But because of the pandemic, it got worse. And it says it could potentially kill more people each day than the infection itself. An estimated 12,000 people per day could die from hunger linked to COVID-19 by the end of the year, man. And this was written 2 weeks ago. You see? 2 weeks ago, I just seen an article. Buku people getting evicted. Buku people lost jobs, so they loan money. They ain't just about to go out and just spend money and live delicious like they've been doing. Especially in America. They got to be a little more smarter with their finances, man. You know? And it says, right, it says the pandemic is the final straw for millions of people already struggling with the impacts of the conflict, climate change, inequality, and a broken food system that has impoverished millions of food producers and workers. That's what we were just saying. This pandemic have put food producers and workers in the worst case scenario. They don't have the regular businesses to sell to. You see, they losing money. Like again, I mentioned I did an article a while back, a lesson a while back on this article, and it was saying how an onion farmer, all he do is make onions. He was like the third generation onion farmer in his family. He was saying because restaurants, bars, clubs was closed, he lost pretty much all his business because he said, he said, you don't just go home and say, hey, babe, let's cook some onions tonight. No, you get the majority of your onions from your sides at restaurants, right? Your onion rings from the club or the bar. People don't just say, let's cook onion rings. So because things was closed because of the coronavirus, that farmer lost business, man. Right? It says, among the issues that have left many unable to put food on the table are lost income, because you don't have that same amount of money just to go buy snacks, candy, It says caused by unemployment or a reduction in remittance of payments, the lack of social support for those who work in the informal economy, and disruptions to the supply chain hurdles faced by producers, man. Let's read a little more. It says, let's see where I want to go. Okay, I'm going to just go right here. It says, meanwhile, those at the top, I'm going to go right here. It says, according to Oxfam, the coronavirus pandemic has added fuel to the fire of an already growing hunger crisis. It was already bad. Global warming, you know, a struggling society, and not just here in America, all over. Like you got the locusts. That been happening before coronavirus. You see? But it's getting worse now. It says the World Food Program, data cited by Oxfam, estimates that in 2019, 128 million people were Oxfam estimates that in 2019, 128 million people were food insecure, which they didn't know where their next meal was going to come from. You see, they didn't know how they was get their food. It says in 149 million of them suffered crisis level hunger or worse. This is before the pandemic. This is before Corona. It says current projections say the number of people experiencing crisis level hunger might reach 270 million in 2020, on top of the already 820 million in 2019. It says, as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, an increase over 80% from the 80% from the previous year. Salaki. It says Oxfam briefing singles out 10 extreme hunger hotspots around the world where the pandemic is worsening already critical situations. They are Yemen, the Dominican Republic of Congo, Afghanistan, Venezuela, the West Africa, Sahel, Ethiopia, Sudan, South Sudan, Syria, and Haiti. Right? But right here it says hunger is rising globally, and the United States is no exception, right? Because the United States used to seeing people struggling across the world, third world countries, like they say, but they never experienced that over here in America. But it says America is no exception, man. We know Babylon the Great ain't no exception, because Babylon go get the worst judgment than anybody else in the world. So we know that famine go hit here. It says over the last week, 1.3 million people filed initial claims for unemployment benefits. And according to Feeding America, an additional 17 million people in the United States could be food insecure in 2020 as a result of the pandemic. It says that will bring the total number of Americans struggling to put food on the table to around 54 million people, or 1 in 6, the Food Organization estimates. You know, and it got a lot more on here. Going into the meat processing plants closed down, you know. I'm going to read it. It says the pandemic also exposed vulnerabilities in the United States food supply chain. For example, COVID-19 outbreaks severely affected meat processing plants around the country, causing shortages, you know. And then it goes into how to avoid the worst case scenario, and they tell you to go to the government. But let's get into the scriptures, because we don't have to go to the government. We go to our power source, man. We go to the power who created all these things, man. You see, that's who we go. We don't have to go to FEMA, you know, and we don't have to get a chip just to go behind a gate and start eating at the concentration camp. No, man. We're going to trust in YAHAWAH, because why? We got examples of him saving people, our forefathers or foremothers, out of times when they was hungry, man. So we believe the same thing gonna happen now. But I'm gonna snag this real quick, just to go into the point how it's gonna be a famine that's gonna come, man. This 2nd Ezra 15 and 18. It says, for because of their pride, and America is the most proud. It says because of their pride, it says the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. It's about to tell us why. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Your neighbor who you walk outside, taking the trash out, hey, you know, good morning. And cutting the grass, you wave. Go and get the mail. That same man you waving at, because him and his household, he lost his job months ago. His wife recently lost hers. They ate everything in their pantry. You see? Now they hungry, and he already thinking about eating his wife and his kids. Before he do that, though, he go come to your door and knock and see if you got food. You better not be fixing nothing, because he better not smell it. Nobody in the neighborhood better not smell it. If they do, they kicking down your door because they hungry, man. Cannibalism go come back in a great way. There's examples of that in the scriptures. But it's the thing. The Lord going to provide for us. We don't have to worry how we going to eat. You know, telling your wife, man, how we going to eat? Your wife asking you, the kid's hungry. My stomach growling. The baby ain't eat yet. Looking at you. Well, look, we going to have that, Lord willing, have that hope in that day. What? Chill. The Lord going to provide. Like Abraham told Isaac, chill, the Lord going to provide. The Lord going to provide, man. Right? But let's get into the scriptures. Because this is what YAHAWAH told us to do. Right? This is Luke 12. And I'm going to start at 22. YAHAWAH speaking. It says, and he said unto his disciples, right? Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, neither for the body, what you shall put on. YAHAWAH telling us straight up, don't think and what we gonna eat tomorrow. Yeah, we ate something today. We found something in the street today. What we gonna eat tomorrow? The Lord said, don't worry about that, man. You see, now, of course, like the Apostle Hall said, if you can get some extra food to store up, that's not being unfaithful. That's being wise, you using wisdom. But this the thing with that. It's not like doomsday preppers. You see? Doomsday preppers say if you see the military troops coming in your neighborhood, heathens, 2/3, doomsday preppers, they're going to try to gather shit out their house, put it in a bag and food to take on them, take with them on a journey. But this the difference between us, which YAHAWAH said, when you shall see them come, roughly paraphrasing, coming, the abomination that make it desolate, which is talking about 70 AD, Esau, Edom, right? But when them troops roll up in this time, we don't have to go leave out the field, come into the house and gather clothes and food. We don't have to get off on the housetop and gather food to take with us. We just leaving. Why? Because we know, ultimately, like he said, don't lay up your treasures upon earth where moth and rust do corrupt and where thieves can break through and steal. If we have to leave in a hurry, we don't have to panic like, damn, we forgot the food. Damn, we forgot the baby food. No, the Lord gonna somehow make a way. Somehow make a way. And these accounts gonna show you that the Lord could do, like YAHAWAH said, is anything impossible with the Heavenly Father? It may be impossible with man, but nothing is impossible with the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, man. So we can leave the food here. Whatever we stacked up and stored up, we can leave it here because the Lord gonna feed us anyway if we do what we have to do in these times while the grace period is upon us, man. Right? Continuing on, though. I'm going to read that again. It says, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat, neither for the body, what you shall put on. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, right? Consider the birds. It says, for they neither sow nor reap. Right, you don't see a bird planting their seeds in the ground, then coming back a couple of days later saying if it's ready. No, you don't see birds fixing food, then come days later and eat it. It says, which neither, right, the birds, which neither have storehouses nor barns, but the Heavenly Father feedeth them. Right, they don't have to store up food, right? They eat on the daily, man. They don't have to put food into a refrigerator, you know, and just store it up in a little bird's nest. It says, but the Most High feed them. And it's the point. How much more are ye better than the fowls? If the Lord take care of birds and feed them on a daily so they don't go hungry and they don't have to save food and worry about storing up food, YAHAWAH said we much more better than they. So the Lord gonna, come on, man, the Lord gonna provide for us if he providing for birds. Birds. Like the other day I was cutting my grass. Soon as I cut it, birds came all in the yard eating. And my first thought was the Lord wanted me to cut the grass just so they could come on and eat, man. We're going to have to think of these things. So the Lord might put us in a situation just so he can feed us. Come on, man. It says, hopping down a little bit more. It says, verse 29, and seek not. It says, and seek not ye what you shall eat or what you shall drink. Neither be ye doubtful of mind. Don't doubt that the Lord, down, babe, telling your woman, down, we ain't eating a day. 2 days the Lord dealing with us. Hey, remember, the Lord still going to try us, though. It ain't going to, yeah, for some brothers, it might be peaches and cream in their family. Go through a little hell here and there. But for some of us, hey, we might have to, hey, go through it. We're going to be tried and we're going to be tested. It ain't like we should go sit down every night, full-course meal, porterhouse steak, yayan, you know, snacks, strong drink. Yeah, it might happen, but it ain't just every day, all day. Come on, man. But that account we go into with Elijah, he ate good morning and evening, so it might happen. Again, I'm talking, but shit, I don't know what the Lord gonna do, man. Remember, a standard go be lifted. But this why our faith kick in that, because the things we read now, the accounts we go into, we gonna think about that when we're in them situations, right? But it says, right, where I'm at. Right, it says, neither be ye doubtful of mind, for all these things do the nations of the world seek after right. The heathens go be looking for their next meal in that time. The heathens go be worrying about, I got to go kill this man so I can take his food. 2/3 going to be, I got to kill this nigga so I can take his food. You see? But we ain't got to do that. Right? It says, for all these things do the nations of the world seek after, and your Father knoweth that ye have need of these things, but rather seek ye the kingdom of the Most High, and all these things shall be added unto you. If we serve the Lord, focus on the Lord, on what our task is right now, right? Serving the Lord, when that time come, let's get this. When that time come, He going to take care of us, man. Right? Because if we do what we got to do now, we shall have faith that we going to eat in those times, because it's what the Lord say. You know, the scripture say he in a manner he shall lie, right? Isaiah 65:16. No, Isaiah 65:13. It says, therefore, thus saith YAHAWAH power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. 2/3 of our people going to be hungry. Heathens going to be hungry. We going to eat. It says, behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed, man. And this is the things that we have to look forward to, right? I mean, we have to go to FEMA, and they say in order to come back here, you see people back there with health care, people who got bruises, you got doctors helping them out, you got the little kids playing in the cages in the back, you know, people eating pork and beans and ham. But in order to get back there, you got to get the chip. But we ain't going to be like, nah, fuck that. What we hope to think about in those times, the things that was written in 4 times, so we ain't going to have to go to FEMA. We're going to trust that the Lord going to work a miracle for us, man. You see? But I want to get this one real quick. I'm going to get this one in the book of the Bell and the Dragon, dealing with Daniel and Habakkuk. When Habakkuk, the Lord had Habakkuk bring Daniel food when he was in the lion's den. Some of us might be in a concentration camp. The Lord might have another brother come bring you food, and after you eat, save you out of there. But after we read this one, I want to get Elijah and his story during the famine, you know, and then I'll wrap it up. But this is in the Apocrypha, Bell and the Dragon, and I'm going to start at verse 27. Bell and the Dragon 1:27. It says, then Daniel took pitch, fat, and hair, and did sieve them together and made lumps thereof. This he put in the dragon's mouth, and so the dragon burst in sunder. And Daniel said, lo, these are the guys you worship. Because you got to remember, when you go into it, Daniel was talking to the king, right? And he was like, man, the guy that you worship, this dragon, it ain't no real power. So Daniel destroyed it, right? It says, and when they of Babylon heard that, they took great indignation and conspired against the king, saying, the king is become a Jew, and he have destroyed Baal, right? It says he have destroyed Baal, and he have slain the dragon and put the priest to death. You see? So they was like, man, fuck that. They felt played. The Babylonians felt played because their idol was destroyed. So this was what they wanted to do to Daniel. It says, so they came to the king and said, deliver us Daniel, or else we will destroy thee and thine house. The same thing gonna happen to us. Then YAHAWAH said we shall be delivered up. Some of us gonna be thrown into jail 10 days when we gonna be tried. And it ain't just the literal 10 days. It might be a week, 2 weeks, 1 day, 2 days. You see? So these things might happen to us. We might get thrown into jail. But let's see what the Lord gonna do. You know? And it says, who cast him into the lion's den where he was 6 days. And in the den there were 7 lions, and they had given them every day 2 carcasses and 2 sheep. which then were not given to them to the intent that they might devour Daniel. So there was hungry lions up in there. It says, now that's the point, getting to the point. Now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. Now, there's something to think about. Habakkuk was just going on his daily life. He wasn't fixing the food like, man, Daniel, I know Daniel up in that lion's den, he hungry. Let me fix this food for my brother, man, my fellow prophet. No, he was going on his daily life, fixing food for people out in the field. Right? But let's see how the Lord planned this out. Made him fix food just like the birds. Remember? Just like the birds. Right? The Lord had his meal already prepared for him, man. Without Daniel knowing how it was going to come. Without the one who prepared it not even know he was going to bring it to Daniel. It says, now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of YAHAWAH said unto Habakkuk, go, carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know what a den is. Think about that's like today. The Lord might, a brother locked up in Cali, might tell another brother in London, go take this food to the elder Mawatazak, you know, the other Barack or one of the brothers in Cali, man. One of the brothers said, I don't know what part they in though. Right? Watch what happened. It says, then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head. So an angel took Habakkuk, it says, and bare him by his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit, set him in Babylon over the den. In other words, transported him into Babylon. He was in Jewry, transported him into Babylon. The same thing. Brother might be in a concentration camp. Brother might be in the wilderness somewhat. Him and his household hungry, looking for food. The Most High might take you, bring you to that brother and his family to get him that food, man. You see? Let's read on. And Habakkuk cried, saying, oh, Daniel, take the dinner which the Most High have sent thee. Right? The Most High sent it to him. Habakkuk made it and brought it to him, but who ultimately sent it to him? Man's goings are of the Lord. How can then a man understand his own way? You feel me? It says, like a doomsday prepper. A doomsday prepper might be saving up all this food right now, right now in his house, and he at work and Jacob's trouble pop off. He don't have time to make it back home. His wife already done died, his house just there. The Lord might lead you and your family. Y'all ain't eating a day or two. You and your family on the run into the house. You feel me? Boom. All that food that doomsday prepper stored up. The Lord had that sitting there and had him store that just for you and your family, man. We have to think about these things, It says, and Habakkuk cried and said, Daniel, take the dinner which the Most High have sent thee. And Daniel said, thou hast remembered me, O YAHAWAH, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. What the scripture said in Luke 22. Seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High, and all these things shall be added unto you. If we serving the Lord to the best of our abilities, man, striving for greatness, trying to measure up to the stature of YAHAWAH, which is perfection, the Lord going to take care of us, man. Right? It says, so Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of the Lord said Habakkuk in his own place again immediately, because the whole point was to go feed my servant. It says, and that's the point. That's the point on that, man. Let's get another account, right? But you see, that's things people don't think about. An angel teleported one prophet all the way to another prophet, and that prophet, Habakkuk, ain't even know where Daniel was. But the Lord brought him there to feed him. As soon as he was fed, he went back to his spot, man. We have to think outside the box when we're dealing with the Lord. We have to think outside the box. Anything is possible. Whatever situation we go be in that time, believe the Lord can save us out of that. That takes me to one of my favorite scriptures before I get that account with Elijah. Because I'm going to read that whole chapter with Elijah because that's some good stuff. But this 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says, there have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. Right. We going to be going through the famine just like everybody going to be going through the famine. People in the world, of other countries and Americas, we going to be going through a famine just like them. Right. The shelves and stores go be empty for everybody. No drink for nobody. We gonna be going through the same situations, right? But it's the difference. It says, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. The Lord ain't gonna put on our plate that we can't handle. You see? Yeah, he might let you go a day without eating because he know you can handle that. He might let you go 2-3 days without eating. And another thing, we gonna be sowing the spirit in that day, then adrenaline will be kicking in. You might not even be thinking about eating. You see? And think about it. Remember, when prophets used to fast back in the day, even now, when prophets fast, or people fast, believers in the Lord. When you fast, the Lord might show you a vision, reveal something unto you, right? An angel might appear unto you. It happened in the scriptures, right? So you can't think, damn, I ain't eating in these days during a famine. No, think of it like, okay, I'm going to use these days, shit. I'm going to be in the spirit like Elder Yahawah always say. When you don't eat, you become like an angel. Don't look at the negative part like, damn, babe, fuck, we ain't eating. No, look at, okay, I'm in the spirit. The Lord about to do something. The angel might appear. You looking for Uri or somewhere, Yeah, man. But continuing on, it says, but the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape that you may be able to bear it. So the situation he put you in that same situation, he gonna make a way out for us, man. Right? And this is comfort scriptures. Comfort scriptures. We're gonna have to, that's why it says in Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times. When you go into that word stability, it is stable, right? To keep us stable. Faith. I'm a one, I believe. But the point is, where you find wisdom and knowledge at? Within here, within the scriptures, man. So when we're in troubling times, we're going to think about the scriptures, and this was going to keep us stable, man. You see? But let's get that Isaiah, and I'll end it. This is, it's in, not Isaiah, Elijah, Salaki, Elijah. This is 1 Kings 17, and I'm going to start at 1. 1 Kings 17:1. It says, and Elijah the Tishbite, which is an Israelite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, right? Salakia. It says, and Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, as the Lord YAHAWAH, power of Israel, liveth, behold, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. Right? So in other words, it's going to be a famine. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. Check that out. What we got earlier, the Lord YAHAWAH said, ravens don't even gather food for themselves. But the Lord had ravens gather food for Elijah. They don't gather food for themselves, but they was gathering food for Elijah, man. And the Lord said Elijah was going to drink of the brook, drink of the little pine or the river. Now, we know in America, everything polluted. Every lake, Everything polluted. But remember, what happened with Moses and them and the Israelites when we left out of Egypt? The water was bitter. But the Lord had told Moses, go cut off this piece of tree and this wood, throw it in the water, and it became sweet and drinkable. That can happen for us too. You see, the Lord might tell you, put your finger in the water, and boom, the water become clean. Now you're in your household drinking out of a ditch. You feel me? The water in the ditch or whatever it is, man. But it's clean though. High pH, better than smart water, man. Right? It says, and it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. So he went and did according unto the word of the Lord. For he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh, bread and meat, right? Bread and flesh in the morning and bread and flesh in the evening. Going back to, I was saying earlier, the Lord might not feed us every day, all day. Well, I can't say that. So Salakia, Yahawah Ba'ashim Yahushua, because I can't say that. Because he did it to Elijah, feed him all day, every day. Bread and flesh in the morning and bread and flesh in the evening. And he drank of the brook, and he had something to drink where everybody else is going through the famine. You see? The Lord might have, because you know it's going to be wild animals changing their places. You might hear a growling sound, you and your family, or you and another brother, or you by yourself in the woods, you hear a growling noise, a lion, you scared, a bear, but the bear come and bring you food. The bear got some flesh. You know, the Lord might boom, spark a fire right there so you can cook the meat. Yeah, man. It says, and it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up because there had been no rain in the land, so he ain't had no more to drink. But that didn't mean, well, the Lord ain't say, well, Elijah, nah, I did my part. Go find your own food. No, the Lord going to continue to work miracles for him. No, let's read. And the word of the Lord came unto him saying, arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. One of the sisters who watching the videos. Say of a sister, because, you know, every sister right now don't have a man who she under. You feel me? Say if one of y'all sisters watching the videos, the Lord might have you where you got a little bit of food. He might lead a man of the Lord to you, right? I'm going to read this. I don't want to jump the gun because this situation that we about to read might happen with one of y'all sisters, man, and one of the brothers, you know? It says, hey, remember it says 7 women shall take hold of one man. They said, we're going to eat our own food. We're going to eat our own bread. The Lord might bring women to you who already got their food just so you can eat. And what Elijah about to do, it might happen where you can multiply food like YAHAWAH. He took a couple loaves of bread and loaves of fish and fed thousands, man. Come on. It says, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. So he arose and went to Zarephath. And when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman, without a man, right? The widow woman was gathering sticks. And he called to her and said, fetch me, I pray thee, a little water in a vessel that I may drink. And as she was going to fetch it, he called to her and said, bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thy hand. He said, shit, look, I want go give me some drink, some water, and go give me some food. Right? That's what the woman go say. And she said, as the Lord, thy power liveth, I have not a cake. I don't have no food. It says, but a handful of meal in the barrel. I only got a little bit. It says, and little oil in a cruse, and behold, I am gathering 2 sticks that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. So she was like, I only got a little bit. I'm coming to get these 2 sticks because the little bit I got, I'm going to eat one. My son going to eat the other one. We going to die because that's all we got. That's all we got. We about to eat our last bit of food and we just going to die, man. You see? But watch how the Lord come through with one of his men. Going back to a sister, a brother, the Lord might lead a brother to you. And it don't just have to be a brother that you watch his videos, comment on his page. Remember, Elijah, that woman ain't no, she ain't had no videos to see Elijah before that time. No, it was all through the spirit. It says, but watch what Elijah told him. I'm going to read that. It says, I may go and dress it for me and my son, that we may eat it and die. And Elijah said unto her, fear not, go and do as thou hast said, but make me therefore a little cake first. Elijah like, stop tripping. Do what I told you to do and fix my food first. And bring it unto me, and after make for thee and for thy son. Then you and your son can eat after I eat. Now that woman, it had to take faith for her to even do this, man. You see? So it's going to have to take faith for sisters, brothers, and you see? It says, for thus saith YAHAWAH, power of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail until the day that the Lord send a rain upon the earth. Elijah said, look, I know you said you got a little bit, but according to the Lord, we going to be eating and drinking until the famine over with. So in other words, we got to expect to eat and drink until YAHAWAH crack the clouds, man. Right? It says, and she went and did according to the saying of Elijah, and she and he and her house did eat many days. And the barrel of the meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of YAHAWAH, which he spake by Elijah. They didn't run out of food. Remember, how they didn't run out of food when they started with a little bit already? Because the Lord worked the miracle. Just like YAHAWAH fed thousands, the Lord gonna do the same thing, man. You see, it said we gonna come into times like never before. So we could be put in situations like never before. So the Lord gonna have to work miracles for us like never before. Don't doubt. Don't doubt. Speaking to my soul first and foremost, don't doubt the Lord, man. It might seem like, damn, you looking like, damn, Lord. Don't doubt, man. You know, I'm being, you know, facetious, but it says, verse 16, and the barrel of meal wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of the Lord, which he spake by Elijah. And it came to pass after these things, and that's the point. That's the point with that, you know, because her son died, but Elijah brought her son back to life. You see, Elijah brought us. He ain't died because he went hungry. No, he just died. I don't know. I don't think it said okay, he fell sick. I'm gonna read it. And it came to pass after these things that the woman's son fell sick, and his sickness was so sore that there was no breath left in him. And she said unto Elijah, what have I to do with thee, O thou man of the Most High? Art thou come unto me to call my sin to remembrance and to slay my son? And he said unto her, give me thy son. And he took him out of her bosom and carried him up into a loft, where he abode and laid him upon his own bed. And he cried unto YAHAWAH and said, O Lord, my power, hast thou also brought evil upon the widow with whom I sojourn by slaying her son? And he stretched himself upon the child 3 times and cried unto the Lord and said, O Lord, my power, I pray thee, let this child's soul come again into him. And the Lord heard the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came into him again, and he revived, man. And Elijah took the child and brought him down out of the chamber into the house and delivered him unto his mother. And Elijah said, see, thy son liveth. And this woman said to Elijah, now by this I know that thou art a man of God, and that the word of the Lord in thy mouth is truth, man. You see, so in them times, the Lord might have us eat, but the Lord, because that woman helped Elijah, her son fell sick, and because she helped Elijah, now the Lord repaid her back by having Elijah help her by healing her son, and she knew he was a prophet, man. It ain't far-fetched by the times we're about to come into, but I'm going to end it off on this. This is Job 5:19. It's talking about the Most High and what he going to do for us. Job 5:19, it says, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yet in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. What's 6 troubles? Famine, what we talking about? Famine, concentration camps, these wars that's going to be going on between white people, black people, seditious among men, Asians, everybody. Like Apostle was saying, it's going to just be a literal race war. It's going to be a complete rebellion. He's going to deliver us from all that, man. From the sword, right? From the, Esau coming in like a flood. It says, yeah, and in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. What's the 7th trouble? That's the missiles, man. And that's also when YAHAWAH say, come up hither. So none of the plagues going to touch the elect. It says, in famine, what we talking about? In famine, he shall redeem thee from death. You might be feeling like you about to die, like, damn, but the Lord going to redeem you somehow, some way. Somehow, some way, man. It says, and in war from the power of the sword, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. Why are you going to be laughing in a famine? Because you're going to be taken care of, man. You're going to know I did what I had to do. You know, I didn't took my L's in the world. Now it's time for me to win because the world about to take an L, man. And it says, at destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. Like they was at peace with Elijah. You see? Like the ravens, because they was bringing him food. Animals might bring us food. The Lord might send the animals just to protect us. Who knows, man? You know, but that's pretty much all I had, man. You know, Lord willing, that was edifying, comforting, because the Lord going to do things that's going to blow our minds, man, just to save us out of certain situations, you know. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, by Hashem YAHWAH, by Hashem YAHWAH. And with that, Shalom.